Hello all, my name is Reggie and welcome to my channel. Today I will be sharing with you the top books that I meant to read in 2017 and for one reason or another I just didn't get to them. So these are books that I bought with the intention of reading right away or had on my TBR for months and months and months, or just meant to read for one reason or another, didn't get to it. There's so many books in the world that you want to read and just don't get to, that I could have made this list so much longer than it is, but I made this my top 10 books that I meant to read last year and didn't get a chance to. I am making every intention of reading these books this year. If you're new here, you should consider hitting that subscribe button. I post new bookish videos every week. I also try to post more than once a week, so you should also hit the bell dude to be notified when I post new videos. The first book that I meant to read in 2017 and just didn't get to is How to Make a Wish by Ashley Herring Blake. I've heard so much amazing stuff about this book. I've also put it on many TBRs throughout the year, and I just never read it, which is so upsetting. One of the things I really have been searching for in books over the last year is really good biracial rep. And I've heard there's really good biracial rep in this book. And that's one of the main reasons I want to read it, even though I've heard amazing things about its other representation and about the storytelling in general. The next book is a book I actually started and never finished, which is stupid because I really want to read it, and also because it was an arc. But I still really want to read it because what I've read of it is so beautiful. And that book is Dottie's memoir, which is called Secrets for the Mad, Obsessions, Confessions, and Life Lessons. And the writing in this is just beautiful. The book itself is beautiful. It's like got some illustrations and color pages, and I'm literally not showing those pages at all, but it's fantastic. And as you can maybe see, I've tabbed what I have read of it because it's been lovely. Next up on this list, I have Eliza and Her Monsters. This is by Francesca Zappia. And I've heard nothing but good things about this book. This was one of those books that was just super hyped up this year, and I really want to read it. I just think it sounds so good. It's about a girl who's writing a fanfiction that's very popular. She's pretty famous for it, but she's anonymous, so no one knows that it's her writing it. She also deals with anxiety. I've heard that it's really good anxiety rep. I've heard that it's also very good, like, introduction into fandom culture and representation of that whole world, so I'm just really excited to get to it. Next up is one that I'm just so disappointed that I haven't read it yet because I bought it in like January of 2017, and that is Wayfarer by Alexandra Bracken. This is the sequel to Passenger by Alexandra Bracken, and that is a book about time traveling, and I love time traveling stories, and I loved Passenger, and I don't know why I never picked up Wayfarer. It just literally makes no sense. The next one is one that's been on my TBR since basically I started BookTube, even longer, since I first started watching BookTube. And that is A Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. I own this entire trilogy and I haven't read it yet, but I've heard nothing but amazing things about Laini Taylor and her writing and her world building and her characters, and everything sounds fantastic. This is a book about like angels and a girl, and it's all very like vague what I know about it, but it sounds fabulous and I just need to read it, like every book on this list. Next up we have Night Film by Marisha Pessl. This is a book everybody loves. This is an adult thriller that is told in a multimedia format, and its main character is a journalist. Those are like three of the biggest things on my list of things I love in books: adult thrillers, journalists, and multimedia aspects to a story. And so when I first heard about this book, I was like, heck yeah. And then I found it for super cheap and I was like, I gotta buy it, and I haven't read it yet. Next up is a book I bought very recently, and that is The Becoming of Noah Shaw by Michelle Hodkin. So I've heard mixed things about this book, but I'm still planning on reading it, and I hope I still really enjoy it. This is the beginning of a new continuation of the Mara Dyer series. This is the Noah Shaw Chronicles. Noah Shaw is one of the characters in the Mara Dyer trilogy, and this continues Mara and Noah's story, and I love the whole trilogy of Mara Dyer, so I'm really excited to see what this world has in store for us moving forward, especially with the revelations we had at the end of the third book. Next up is A List of Cages by Robin Rowe. I've heard super great things about this book. I've basically heard that it's such a sweet, nice, kind book. It has some good mental illness representation, especially, I believe, ADHD. And I've heard it's just basically a really good book about kindness. I'm super into being kind. Kindness is kind of my thing. Next up, we have a book that I bought. As soon as it came out, I drove to the bookstore, bought the book, drove home with the intention of reading it that day. And here we are, months and months and months later, and I still haven't read it. And that is Tasha Hart's Tolstoy. This is the story of a girl who is working on an internet video, YouTube channel, web series thing about Tolstoy. And it kind of blows up. She gets a shout out, I think, or for some reason, the video blows up and she is kind of dealing with the fame of it all. And she also is asexual. So we've got some LGBTQIA plus representation here, and I've just heard fabulous things, especially Own Voices reviews of this have been very glowing, so I really want to read it. Are you ready for the last one on this list? You probably know what it is, you might not, but if you've been around for a hot minute, you might know, because I keep putting this on my monthly TBR basically every month since it came out, and I still haven't read it yet, which is really upsetting. And this author is coming out with a new book very soon, and their first book is getting an adaptation very soon. I'm really upset that I still haven't read this book, especially since I think I'd love it. And it is The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. I'm not even going to talk about this because you probably know all about it, and I just haven't read it, and there's no excuse. So those are 10 books that I meant to read in 2017 and wanted to read in 2017 and for some reason didn't read in 2017. So hopefully I'll read all of these books in 2018. That's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you should give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, comment down below and let me know which of these books on this list I should start with. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
Baby, I beg you, yeah.